Okay, here we are. We're here for another build video. Welcome. Today we have the Furinno cabinet, two-tier bookcase with two doors on it, model number 1121. That is 11201. And this was supposed to be an IKEA cabinet, and we did not get the IKEA cabinet, which is okay. This is the best we could get because the other model was discontinued. I found that out much later. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I don't think that's really big. Let's see. Okay, how's that? Can people see that pretty good? Is that bigger? Awesome. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to open this box, but I'm not going to use the contents of this box because this one is too nice, and I'm going to use one that's just completely trashed. I don't have any extras, so I just want to show you what your box looks like. I made sure the students got all the really nice boxes, and I got the thrashed one. And we would take the box cutter, being very careful with the box cutter, and we would cut the ends off of one. So we would start by, if this looks like it's the bottom, then I'm assuming that this is the top. So I would start with the top, and then I would run the box cutter around the top. And I'm going to retape this one for whoever ends up getting it, but I just wanted to show the real box, the same one that you get, and what it looks like inside. Okay, it looks like there's some foam, and if you remove the foam, you see all the pieces, and there's more foam on either side. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to go with this one, because this is for a student, and I'll show you why in a moment. Let me clear that one out. Now I'm going to slide over this one. Now, right away, you can see that there is a significant amount of damage to the box. Okay, this box came completely torn open. The pieces were all loose inside, so they were just flying around inside. And so there is some damage. I just like to point out the damage first, and this is why I'm not building the nice one, because I don't want a student to have to build this. You get to keep this cabinet; it is yours. So I don't want you to have something that's beat up like this one. This is just going to be an example that stays in class. So let me take a quick look here. There's two. It looks like two corners are pretty damaged like that. So there's my hand for perspective, so you can see about how damaged those are. And ordering so many of them was quite a challenge. So again, a shout out to the CTE team for making this wonderful project happen for all of you. I'm gonna take everything out of the box. The box is just really big. And then I'm gonna put everything down on the table and do start looking through the assembly instructions, and that will lead me to the inventory. And then I'll do an inventory to make sure everything is here, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just stacking it all up, picking it up here, sliding the box out of the way, putting the pieces down, and that's going to be it for the really thrashed box. So We can move the pieces up here for now. And I am looking at this and I see it says Furinno, fits space, fits budget. It's very catchy. 20-minute assembly time is what they're claiming. Recommended 2 persons. I don't know why it's recommending 2 people, but it is also saying a hammer and a screwdriver would be required. Traditionally, I see a lot of number 2 Phillips being required. So I'll grab the hammer from our toolkit. This particular hammer is a mallet, all right? So what's being called for in this picture here near my thumb is a mallet, and we only have a regular hammer. So I'm gonna try not to use this as much as possible. If I do have to use it, I'm gonna put a piece in between where I'm hitting on the model and the hammer. And that piece could be a piece of cardboard from the box. So you would, so what I'll do is I'll cut a piece of cardboard off to keep it from getting dented. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. I'm really trying, although I have plenty of mallets here in class, I'm not going to use tools that you don't have. Remember to retract the box cover when you're done with it. So I have a little square and I'm folding it over. And this amount of cushion, a folded over piece of cardboard, is a great non-marking strike surface if we have to tap some things into place. So I don't know if that's going to come in handy later, but let's just have that just in case. The screwdriver, I just want to talk about that, is we are going to go with our screwdriver bit here. It's in the number 2 position, number 2 Phillips. It says PH2. And it starts out in here. We just push it up with our nail, pull out the rest of it, put the other bits in the index to the side, load up your bit into the screwdriver. There, that's ready. I do not recommend power tools for assembling these in case you over tighten the screws. I always like to do it by hand, but it is up to you, of course, if you do have some power tools at home. So let me zoom in here and we will look at exactly what's going on with the instructions. I'm going to sit down and go through this with you. There we go. Okay, what do we got here? They have a technical support page, support@furinno.com. It looks like they're on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube. There is a QR code here. I will check to see if that works right now really quickly to see if that would help us. Well, like help us, like I'm not going to try to use that, but I'm going to use the instructions, but just see if it works. Okay. It's a redirect to Furinno.com. And so this just takes you here. It doesn't take you to any of their social media pages. So it does work. Let's take a look inside. Whoa, already these instructions look like a lot. I don't like the way they're written initially, so we're going to have to take some time here. I see a hardware list. That's everything that's in this bag. So we'll go ahead and count these out. And then here's our diagram of what it's going to look like. Useful hints before you start. Read each step carefully before starting. Yes. 2, it is important that each step is performed in correct order to avoid difficulties. Understood. 3, identify, sort, and count the parts before assembly. That's what we're doing right now. Assemble your furniture on packaging cardboard to prevent scratch or damage. I'm not going to do that just because you can't see this brown against a brown background like the cardboard. So I'm going to do it on this table because this table is nice and flat. But I would use the box that it came in if you want something soft underneath it so it doesn't get scratched. Number 5, clean the product with mild cleanser using a soft, damp cloth. Do not use harsh or abrasive cleansers. Also, I will say this is particle board and some fiber board. These are also laminated. So I would say do not use any excessive water or moisture or liquid chemicals to clean this because you could it could absorb those chemicals or that water and then it could swell. It like absorbs it like a sponge, and just like a sponge, it expands when exposed to moisture. 6, using uncompatible hardware might cause damage to the product. Of course, so we just use everything that's in this bag. And so we're going to complete the inventory first, and then we're going to go on to the steps that we have here. So just to quickly review the steps, we have 1.1, 1.2, step, 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 4 steps. 5, 6, 7, 8, maximum weight. Okay. Warning. Anytime I see a warning, I want to read it. Warning, this unit has been designed to support the maximum loads shown. Exceeding these load limits could cause sagging, instability of product, collapse, and or serious injury. Do not allow children to climb on unit. Put heavier items on lower shelves. Okay, so it's saying that maximum weight on the top is 10 pounds. And then on the middle is 10 pounds, and on the bottom is 10 pounds. So this isn't like a chair. You shouldn't sit on it. And it looks like we just have 8 steps. So let's get this inventory done first. So first, we're going to look at the parts list. I like to start over here because these are bigger, and then I'm going to unwrap the pieces and then go to the hardware list. So let's go ahead and slide extra stuff out of the way for now. Slide it all out of the way, and I'll bring it in frame as we go off the list. So we'll leave this off to the side as well. Okay, left and right side panel, A. And so it's labeled A, and there's 2 of them. I'm assuming these are the largest pieces, and I'm seeing those here. These are both called A, and A. We have a little sticker that's right here on that. Okay, so that's 2 pieces. So yes, check on that. And 1 top panel B. Do I have 1 top panel B? Yep. Here's my top panel B. There is a small circular sticker with the letter B on it. It's really beat up, but I can still see it. Then we have shelf panel C, 1 piece. Here we have C, 1 piece. Okay, got that. Then we go to D, bottom panel. There's D, the bottom panel. Then we're going to go E, door panel, 2 pieces. So we're going to have 2 E's, E, and 1 more E. So I do have 2 E's. These both have damage on the corner. This could affect them not opening or closing, but don't worry, I'll take care of it if it's not opening or closing. So we also have some damage up here. So again, that's why I'm doing this one, because it's the damaged one. So you guys, all you students get the pristine pieces that were not damaged in shipping. And the back panel, one piece. So this should open, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it opens up. All right. So that's that inventory. And then we're going to go from there to this. We're going to count out these pieces. So let's go ahead and look at that. And okay, so we have one long screw, 12 pieces. I'm not going to take these out of the bag to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 screws. Okay, so that's this bag here. This is your 12 long screws bag. That's number 1. So we're going to go ahead and check that off. Door support. It's saying door support 4 pieces. These are some plastic little round pieces. Okay, we have that. Check that off. That's good. Magnet screws. Okay, these are the magnet screw pieces. Okay, it's 2, but there's also, it says 2 pieces, but there's 4 pieces. There's 2 screws and the magnetic pieces. Okay, so that's good. And we have the handle. Okay, we have 2 handles there. Okay, 2 pieces, very good. And then we have the short screws, short screw, 2 pieces, we got that. And then we have power pin, a power pin. These look like nails to me. So I'm not sure why they're calling them power pins, but maybe it's because they're a non-standard nail. They just tried to save some money on that. There are different sizes of these. Let me count them. There's exactly 16. So, oh, it's also labeled number 6. That's nice. The other bags aren't. Oh, no, the other bags are labeled. This one has a number 1 on it, so you can see that it has a number 1 in white letters. And this not, oh yeah, this one has a number 2, number 5. Okay, so all these bags are numbered, and the numbers correspond over here. And it's weird that the nails are actually a different length, so that might influence where I put those nails. Okay, so I'm convinced that we have all of the hardware and all of the parts, and so that we can proceed with this build. Step 1, insert screw 3B and door support 2 on panel E. So we are going to start with panel E and then go to panels BC. Enlarge pre-drilled hole with screw before attach with magnet. So we do have some translation difficulties here, but I think we'll be able to get through it. And we're starting with this one. I like to read the whole step before I jump into it. Okay, it's showing an exploded view here. Oh, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I read all the way to the bottom. So E, this is step 1.1 and 3A on BC. This is step 1.2. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So looking at this, we're going to grab E. Okay, we have E right here. And then it says that we are going to 3B, 2 pieces. Insert screw 3B. 3B. Oh, okay, so those are from the magnetic pieces, okay. And door support on panel E. Okay, so they want the screws from 3B from the bag labeled number 3, and they want those into 1. Oh, it looks like there's only 1. Okay, it's 2 of the black door supports and 1 of these screws. And let me try to get the orientation correct. Okay, it looks like this is the correct orientation for it, because I'm trying to match this picture where it says E right here. Okay, so I'm just going to open up the bag of stuff that we're going to use right now. I'm opening up bag 2 for the 2 pins that go in. And it looks like they only stick out a little bit. So the longer side goes in, and I'm going to give it a little tap. Remember not to tap it too hard. So those are both in, and then it wants 1 of these screws from bag 3. They're calling this screw 3B. And then they want us to put this in there. Okay, so let's get my don't over tighten this, just make it nice and snug. And okay, that looks good there. It says 3B 2 pieces, but I only see that 1. I'm only putting in 1 for now, but that might be just a discrepancy in the instructions. So I'm going to put piece E off to the side for now, and I'm going to switch over to, I'm thinking that they mean that you do both piece E's. Well, that makes sense, because they would be the doors. Yep, okay, I would repeat this twice. What just happened here, repeat this twice. So I'm going to grab that and do that right now. So here, with the door oriented correctly, I'm going to grab my other 2 pieces. They are calling these pieces the door supports. We put the longer of the 2 sides. We put the longer of the 2 sides inside, and we leave the shorter of the 2 sides outside. Let me see if I can bring that up a little bit more. So the longer side goes inside, and you might need to give it a little tap. So there we go. Tap, 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 tap. There we go. Tap, tap, tap. And then here, we are going into this bag again, the magnetic bag for screw 3B. Nice and snug, that's great. The Phillips number 2 bit fits so snugly in there, it might pull your bit out, but just grab it right back out. And let's put these to the side. The 2 pieces labeled E, I think I've done my portion on them, and then I'm going to switch over to B and C, and B and C are in this picture here. We're still in step 1. So let me grab B and C. I'm going to just do this in alphabetical order. So here is B. Let's orient it correctly with the picture. And then over here, it looks like there's, we pop these in here into this position. If I'm looking at this correctly, this diagram here. And it says to put two pieces in. So I'm just going to push these down. Okay, that's nice and snug. I like that fit. It's very flush. Make sure this is flush with this face here, this face that I'm touching here. Okay, that's one down. I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to switch over to this piece, and it's facing outward, so this is the right orientation here. Okay, so I'm going to push that down just with my hands. Don't hammer this. This is plastic, so this is very delicate. So just push it in. That's nice. All right. All right. Okay. That's looking good. Step one is done. Let's go to step two. Over here on step two, attach top panel B to left-right side panel A using long screw 1. Okay, so we're going to have to open the long screw bag, open that up, get those long screws out, and get them ready. Okay, I have those ready for me. And then it says, so attach panel B to LR, left, right, side panel A using long screw 1. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like those all go in sideways. And we set up the pieces as we're seeing here. So make sure you pay attention to where these holes are in the diagram, because when we start to put the screws in, then this could become confusing. So we need piece B, and we need the two letter A's. So I have the two letter A's here. My workspace is going to get a little crowded, so I'm going to move some things to the side, but I'm going to try to keep the directions in frame so I can just keep pointing to what we're doing here. We're making this, we're making ours look like this. Okay, so these, it's hard to say what we're looking at here. Oh, I can tell you. There is a rough side. This side that exposes the particle board is going to be back. That should be down. Okay, so we'll put that down on both of them. So both of those are down. Okay, that's definitely very important that you have these two pieces. Let me zoom out. Okay, so you want these two pieces with this edge up. Okay, this nice edge. This exposed particle board edge goes down on the table for both pieces. That's how you know you have the correct orientation. Now I'm going to introduce piece B, and this is going to get a little weird, okay, because it almost requires 3 hands. So I am going to show you a little trick with this in a moment. So that's wrong there. Okay, this is the right orientation here and here. And if they're not standing up, you know, it's really nice that I have a nice flat surface to work on and it's standing up. But if you have some issues with that, then your best bet is to grab some masking tape. So I will grab some of that. Everybody did get some masking tape. And so I like to grab the masking tape if I'm having any issues with assembly and give it, you know, put a little piece of the masking tape on to just hold this piece steady while I work on it. It's a little trick to give me an extra set of hands. So I'll try to hold that up a little bit without wrecking the tape. So I just put 2 tape corners on it, so then that can hold it while I put the screws in. So I'm going to rotate this to the side, and then it says put 4 screws in. So I'm going to do 2 on this side first, and then do 2 on the other side. And once I get it into position, then I'll be able to get this going. Okay, I'm grabbing 2 screws and the screwdriver, and I'm going to put the 2 screws in. Now, I see that there is a pre-drilled hole, and the pre-drilled hole you want to line up first. So you might have to peel the tape off while you're doing this, and then get it started. I'm just going to make it a little bit snug. Okay, now that that's a little bit snug, I have a lot of help, and I'm ready to get the next one in. Just a little snug. You don't want to over tighten these. Be very careful with that. And now that there's screws in this piece, the tape is not useful anymore. But this can still flex, okay? If you flex this too much, the screws will tear out. So please be very careful with that. I'm going to rotate this and do the other side. Okay. So I have the other side, and I have 2 more screws. And these pre-drilled holes are nice and big. There. I'm starting them with my hand, just getting a little twist, get that in there, get that started. Okay. Okay. Nice and tight. Not too tight, just snug. I like to put them a little snug so they have a little bit of pressure, but then I do a final tightening at the end once everything is in the exact right position. So now I'm looking at my items, and it's saying that, well, I put the 4 screws in, so now we're done with step 2. So step 2 is completed. Now it's saying attach door panel E and shelf panel C to completed unit in step 2 as shown. So we're putting in the bottom door, and we're standing it upside down with the top laying down. Okay, so this might be harder to see, but I did adjust the document camera just for this. Okay. Okay, so this is the position that they're asking us to place the cabinet in, straight up and looking straight down. And then it says door panel E and shelf panel C. Door panel E and shelf panel C. Okay, here is door panel E. We have the letter E on this. and I'm going to put this in. And now this is where we might encounter some issues because of the crushed corners. Okay, that might cause some issues. It may not function. Oh, that's really nice. The magnet just went right to work and grabbed it, and I'm pushing down. Nice. Okay, so that is panel E, and then we're getting C. Okay, so let's get C, and it says that this is going to go in. Okay, so then this one will go on top, and then make sure that this pin enters this drilled hole on it. Okay. Okay. Then my instructions are saying the screws go in the side. So that's why I have the whole bag of screws out, and I'm just going to try to find that pre-drilled hole. There it is. You can really feel for where that pre-drilled hole is. So I'm just getting it started just a little bit on the side. I'm sorry that's out of frame, but I'm going to start one on either of the sides. So I'm going to start one on the back this side and one on the back on this side. And then that will give me 3 points of stability for this. I'm just going to give it a little bit snug, not over tighten. And now I'm going to return to the other side and snug up the other side a little bit. I'll rotate it once these both are in just a little bit to be able to show you some more. Okay, so the next is I'm going to put in the screw right here into this position here. And then on the opposite side, I'm going to put the screw in the position over here. Okay, so those are the two next screws. And try to feel around for where that hole is drilled, because you will feel where the pre-drilled hole is. I think you can see that. Okay. Okay, that is snug. Now I'm going to the other side. Over here. Okay. Try to start this with your fingers first. There it is. Now I really don't try to over tighten it at this point. I just try to get it a little snug so that it pulls in the body so that you have a nice, it's touching, but it's not too tight. Then I'll go through and I'll tighten all of these later at the end. I like it to have a little bit of flex in it while I'm assembling it. Okay, then we're going on to that was step 4. We have those in. Going to step 5. It seems like it's almost a repeat of the last step. We're going to pop the door E in on top. Just moving this around so you can see it a little bit better. We're going to put the next door right here, and then it's going to be 4 more screws. The screws are going to be up pretty high, so it's going to be really close to the dock cam, so I don't know how well you're going to see me tightening those, but we're just going to go for it. Okay, so we have the E. Okay, pop that in, do that. And the top piece, okay, let's see. Hello. All right, wonderful. Okay, guys, it's that time where I told you I was gonna have to pause. Mr. Dennis has come to visit, so I will pause this build video for a second. And let me put my mask. I mentioned that you'd be coming and that we're working on this piece. Okay, that was a brief pause in the video, but we are ready to continue on. And with the process, we are definitely nearing the end of this construction, and we are on step. So, if we're wondering, I'm in the steps here in the instruction sheet, and I am putting on step 5. So step 5 involved us putting in this second E door, and E is the label of the door. And now we're bringing on D onto the top, and then that's going to tie everything together. And then we'll have everything but the back on. Okay, so the second to last piece D, is labeled with the D, and then we are going to make sure that the nice edge, there's a nice edge like this. It looks, it's a laminate, and then there's a rough edge that shows the particle board. So this part goes back towards the wall, and the nice part faces forward. Okay, awesome. So I just have a few of my screws ready. I'm just going to pop them in there real quick. That was weird, that cut out. I think it's just changing contrast too much because I'm getting really close to the camera. So I'm going to put this onto the this pivoting pin that ends up functioning as the door hinge. And then I'm going to put 2 of the screws in from the outside, okay? You can't see the outside because this is really hard to keep it in frame, but I'm gonna rotate it, and then I'm gonna put these 2 in, but from the outside. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 of these screws out. And then, actually I'll take them all out, but that's where I'm going next. So I'm putting on the top piece. The pin is in. This is a really snug fit. Okay, it's in there. And then I'm going to gently move this to the side and show this part going in. So we're putting in this piece, and this screw into the side, and you just wiggle it around until you feel the pilot hole that's actually drilled for you there. Tying it in with your finger, and then grab your screwdriver and snug it up. Okay, not too tight, not too tight. Now I'm going to go to the other corner, and I'm going to show you that by rotating this around. And then I'll have 3 points of support on this. And so the 3 points of support are the pivoting pin that's functioning as a hinge, the other screw that I just put in, and this screw. Just a little bit snug for now, and now we can follow up with our other 2 screws here and on the opposite side. So I'll show you that in this close-up. Okay, that's a little snug. Now I'm going to rotate and put in the other screw here. Now I start it with my fingers and I'm rotating it, and there is a small pilot hole in here. So you have to wiggle it around. If you're not finding it, you know, you might need to push it around a little bit. This seems to have more of a lip. So I wonder if it's all the way in. I'm going to give this a little tap. Okay, this is what the cardboard's for. So I'm putting the cardboard here, and then I'm going to hit this with the hammer to tap this down. I think that something's keeping it up a little bit. So the cardboard is to keep you from marking the cabinet, and there it is. There it is. I'm able to reach it now. I can feel the pilot hole, and it is at a slight angle. So that's a little bit weird. But it's going in now, and it's making it aligned. Let me switch over here. I have my hand on the opposite side of the cabinet just to provide some opposing support. Wow, this is looking nice so far. And now that all of these screws are in, I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to tighten all of them. So I'm going to lay this down, and I only did it a little bit tight at first. So now I'm going back and I'm getting all the screws, these two, and these two. Okay, so now I'm going to apply just a little bit more, just tighten them just a little bit more. And you don't want to over tighten them. If you over tighten them, you're going to, they are going to pull out the material that they're biting into, and the particle board is not that strong. So once the screw starts spinning, there's nothing we can do to improve its performance. That's just going to be it. So just make sure that you tighten it, but not tighten it too much. Now I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to tighten these other screws here and here. A little bit more, a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, that one needed a lot more than I thought. A little bit more. And a little bit more. There we go. That's nice and snug now. So now that I'm done snugging these up, I can look at the next step. Okay, so get my instructions back here. And then we'd be going from step 5 to step 6. Attach shelf panel D left and right using screw 1. Oh, so that was the top piece. We did that already. Okay, very good. Step 7, attach back panel F to unit using power pin 6. And it says use this hammer, and the hammer it's using in the picture again is a mallet. We don't have a mallet, but it's actually asking us to drive in nails. Waiting for the contrast to catch up. Okay, there. So this is, of course, the right type of hammer that we have to be doing this nail. Okay, so this is what we're going to put in the nails with. So we're going to lay this down on its face, and we're going to attach the back panel in step 7. So here we go, getting my instructions out of the way. I don't like it when the doors flop open, but it looks like the magnets are nice and strong, so I don't see the doors flopping open. If you're worried about the doors flopping open at this point, you can reuse some of the blue masking tape that you used earlier. And when I'm working on different furniture, this is a nice little trick I like to use of putting on the masking tape around the corner of the door. And then that keeps it from swinging open on me, because that can damage the project while you're working on it. So we're putting it down, face down. Okay. Okay. So here, I'm trying to get this all in frame. This is really hard to show, but I really want to show this one thing that we do when we're making cabinets from scratch. Okay, so this is a corner and this is a corner. So you can see my fingers here and here. We measure corner to corner and we measure corner to corner. And that should be identical if the box is square. And the idea of square is if you do not have a square unit, then you are setting yourself up for failure. So I'm going to measure from the corner to the other corner. I have 2 feet, or I could just say, oh, in inches, I have 26 and a half, 5/16. No, excuse me, 26, and it's just about 26 and a half. And this other one is exactly 26 and a half. The relationship between these two measurements, this being measurement 1 and this being measurement 2, is only off by 1/16 of an inch. That is acceptable for us in any cabinet build. It is very hard to get them to be identical. And if you run into this issue, you actually have to push the corners, and you kind of smush it a little bit, but that puts stress on all of your fasteners. So just keep that in mind if you're building something in the future, or if something is not appearing right here, then these measurements will be off. This measurement here and this measurement here will be significantly different. And a significant difference is, I would say, more than a 1/4 inch. So as long as it's a 16th, I think we're good to go. So let's continue on here. We are on step 7. Okay, I don't see anything being the top or the bottom. Nice, this feels really nice. Okay. Okay. This looks like it's really good here. I'm very happy with this. And we're doing it face down. So let me see if I can see where they want us to put in all of these nails. So it looks like, I'm going to just mark these really quickly. There's one here, 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 one here. Then we're going to go to one here, one here. Then we're going to go one here, so just like that, and then one here and one here. And if you're not careful, you're gonna go in too much. So what I mean by that is, we look at this width here, okay, the width of the wood. We see that it's 1/2 inch. I'm going to just double check this. It is for sure 1/2 inch. So if you're worried that you're going to go over, then we mark 1/2 inch, and we mark another 1/2 inch down here. And then we connect those. Let me grab something very quickly so that I can represent this better. Okay, so if I have my 1/2 inch and my other 1/2 inch, then I'm gonna go like that, boom. And there's my line, and as long as I nail inside that line, I should hit the other board, but we try to hit right in the middle, okay? That's where it's the strongest. So I'm gonna go around and do that really quickly, and then I will have a better zone for my nailing. And I know this is slowing us down slightly, but it's better to take your time at this point than to go too quickly. I'm measuring in 1/2 inch again, measuring in 1/2 inch again. I'm having a hard time reading the tape towards this end of the tape, so I'm actually measuring from 1 to 1.5, and I'm using that 1/2 inch there, which is a little bit easier to read because this metal clip on the end of your tape measure is getting in the way. So I'm done with the tape measure. I'm going to connect these lines. Connecting the lines. Connecting the lines. Okay, so I'm going to go over where it asked me to do my nails, and I'm going to make an X. And I'm making the X in the center of the 1/2 inch, so it's a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch on either side. And these are just approximate. You know, you're eyeballing this and you're getting good at watching it. Move this over a little bit so you can see. And then it looks like there's 2 more that I forgot. Let me try to get this right in frame. There. Okay, so as long as we get them there, then this should work out well for us. So I'm adjusting it nicely, trying to make sure it's centered. It feels like this piece is a little smaller than the width, but exactly the right height. So this I'm feeling flush. This I'm feeling flush with both hands here on either side. And then this, there's a small gap, a small edge. They called the bag 6 items power pins, but these, in my opinion, are just nails. So I'm going to just take the nails out. And it did look like one was the wrong size, so I'm going to just check that very quickly. This one does have a deformed tip, and I think this nail was made wrong. So the tip might not allow us to nail this in all the way. There's actually 2 of them like that. I'm going to leave those off to the side for now, and then just focus on the ones that are made correctly. And what I mean is they have a sharp tip. So I'm going to show you a bad one and a good one and point to that. The bad one has a big nose and it wasn't trimmed correctly. The good one has a sharp tip. So just remember that. If you have some of these damaged nails, leave them off to the side for now. We're going to grab our hammer and we're going to get going. The first 2 are the most critical. So we're going to do 2 that are diagonal from each other. So I'm going to go over here, get one over there, and then go opposite corner. And then that will give me the most freedom to adjust this. looks like that went in solidly. And now, before you put in your second nail, don't put in your second nail yet. Let me get this all in frame, and I will show you what we're doing next. There. Okay, there. Okay, so watch this. I can rotate this on that nail now, okay? You want to make sure everything is lined up. So line it up with your hands on either side, here and here. Rub the outside. Make sure you feel the edge is flush. That's what you want. And when you make sure that the edge is flush, then you can put this nail in right here. I'm exaggerating how deep it's going in, but it's like just on the edge of the video camera here. That's I can't expand it anymore. So then that's going to be my next nail that I put in. Okay, that's those two. And now I like to move across and across and down and down. Okay, so I call this pulling out the slack, but I don't know if there's a better term for it. But if you put a nail over here and this nail, then you might have some bulges in here in this area. By working our way from one nail all the way across and then down, we should be able to pull out any of the inaccuracy, any of the lumps or any of the bulges in the material. Okay, here we go. Next nail. It's very easy for you to hit your fingers with this. These nails are not really good nails. Tap it to get it started. Then give it a whack. There we go. Tap it to get started. Whack. Up. I felt it slip off the side. That did not work. I will need to go closer to the edge. If you feel like it doesn't hit anything, then that's a mistake. And then it will be protruding inside when we look on the inside of the box. Okay. That glanced off to the side, so I'm not happy with that. That might be poking out. So you have to be careful when you're doing this, because if you miss, then you're gonna have to do more work in the end. So these, I'm gonna actually get closer to the edge than my mark. Okay, here's the last 4. And the bad nails seem to go in all right, but they are a lot harder to start. Okay, this is the moment of truth. I've driven in the 16 nails, so I'm going to just point out at them one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I suspect this one might have come out sideways, this one over here. So that might be an issue. And I'll have to see by opening it up. So I'm going to check this on step 7 first before I go on to step 8 and put the handles on. So let's open this up. They did give us one extra nail, which I thought was nice. I thought they skimped on the nails. Oh, this is not wanting to open. So I'm going to use my tape to see if I can get that to open. It's not opening. Let's see. I have a little screwdriver in the box, and I'm going to use that I'm going to push into this hole and pull out. So I pushed into the little hole here. Let's see if I can push in the corner. No, that's your best bet to be able to open this up. And I'm looking inside. One of the nails came through. I'm going to show you what not to do right now. Let me open these two up. So I'm pushing the small screwdriver into the hole. It's easier to go in from the top. Okay. So here's what happens if you mess up. So I'm going to just show this. Right here, I have a protrusion, and so I don't know if I can get a better angle on it than it is right now. But I have two issues. I have a nail sticking out here and a nail sticking out. It's not sticking out, it just got too close to the edge. So I can't do anything about this one. There's one sticking out, but it was just not enough to all the way come out. So I can't take that one out. The only one I can take out is this one here. So really do take your time on it. And I'm going to show you how to take it out right now, if this happens to you. I'm positioning the corner off of the table. I'm going to need to move the video camera so that I can get a little bit better view on this. Okay, right here, you can see where I'm talking about here. I'm going to try to get a zoom in as much as I can. So if you rush too much, then this is going to happen to you also. So please be careful. I'm trying to get you a good view of it as I work to get this out. So it's protruding and it's sharp, it's sharp. So it's going straight up. So what you want to do is you want to push it out. So I'm getting the hammer and I'm tapping on it. And this corner that I'm working on, you can see the edge of the table here. It's off of the edge of the table, okay? And I'm just giving it a little tap, 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 great, okay? I was able to get that out a little bit, and I'll show you how to pull the nail out. Let's close these doors. Oh, before we close the doors, I'm gonna do a little trick with the tape. You zoom out. The doors are not easily opened. So what I am going to do with the door here is I'm going to make my own little pull to open it. So I'm going to take a piece of blue tape, rip it off there, put it on, and make a little tap so that it opens. There's what the tab looks like, and you can just pull it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. I left the tape inside. I'm going to do the same on the other one, so I can open it up easy when I flip this back over. The good news is the magnets are nice, and also the other good news is that the damaged corners that are here and here and here did not affect the way that the doors open. So although this one was damaged, no big deal. Okay, so the nail that I hit from the other side is right here. So I'm going to use the claw part, and I'm going to hook the nail, and the nail will work all the way up into the point. And so you hook it. Let's see if I can give you a better angle. You hook it, and you gently pull it. Okay? Now that that nail is out, I would try to make a mark that's closer to the edge so it doesn't happen a second time, and be very careful. So I'm gonna take my time. I was in a hurry, I admit that. Okay, nice. That one went in well. So we're on the last step now, which is see, these doors are flopping open because I don't have them taped. But the good news is we can finish this up and put on the hardware. So we have 2 screws here. Let's open up bag 4. It's bag 4. And things are going pretty well. So I'm going to open this up using my little tape pull. It's easy to pull these up now. And then I'm going to work on this one right here. So I'm on step 8, and we're attaching the handles. And then once you put the screws in, then you're able to pop a little cap onto the top, a decorative cover, so you don't see it. All right, so this looks like. Let's see. So we go like this, and then we're going in from the front. Okay, so this is an interesting part. So we're gonna align it with the hole, and we're gonna go in from the front. I haven't seen this type yet. I usually have it go in from the back, but you know, we have to follow the directions here. So let's get this into frame so you can see that nicely. And we are just about done. So align your small screw from the small screw bag 5, and I just put it all the way in, push it all the way in with my thumb, and push that into the hole, and then align it and tighten it. Not too much, okay? So that's in, nice and tight, and then I'm gonna pop my decorative cap over the top. Looking great. There, last one. I'll demonstrate this a little bit better. Push the screw through. Now that the screw is through and protruding, then that goes in the little hole that's on the front of this. And then when you push the knob down, the screw head will pop up. That's where you push down and you screw in the screw a little bit, not too tight. And then you're ready to pop that top in. So now my knobs work. I can remove my little pieces of tape. I'm happy about that. And I can also remove all the little stickers with the letters on them. Wow. Okay, so I'll take my time and I'll do that. I'll do that later. But here we have the cabinet. It's completed, and you have two nice doors. They have nice magnetic hinges, little closing latches. Nice. All in all, a very successful project. Make sure that you pay attention to not put too much weight. It's only rated for 30 pounds, 10 on the top, 10 in the middle, and 10 on the bottom. And then look at these warnings again. I read those earlier. So remember, do not allow anybody to sit or climb on the unit or put items that are too heavy, because this is not like a very structural piece. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the build video. And that completes the cabinet assembly.